Happy Friday. Thanks so much for watching our video today. Appreciate it a lot. And thanks for the interaction since Wednesday with regards to what was out of place in the video. And I want to point it out to you. It was this book, Inner Eating. It is in the commentary section of my library. It's a book that I took out of our church library, 8 or 9 years ago, and kind of have it hidden. It's kind of a fun book that I interact with. 3 of you actually nailed it within about 5 hours and messaged me, and I will be sending you a gift card to enjoy at a local establishment that you're not allowed to eat at. So that's going to be the fun of that one. Today I want to just remind you of a gift that God gave Israel. Specifically, in the Old Testament, we read about it in creation, when God created for 6 days, and then on the 7th day he rested. And it was really a gift that continued through the Old Testament as he was teaching the Israelites that they don't have to work 7 days to live and exist. They could work 6 and God would provide. And that significantly impacted the law and the prophets and how God used them to communicate truth. And then when you get to Mark chapter 2, Jesus recognized that there was this man who totally missed the point of the Sabbath or the day of rest. And he said specifically, Sabbath was for man, not man for the Sabbath. It's almost like the day of rest was for the benefit of mankind. You could even say that the day of rest was a gift for the benefit of mankind. They did not have to work 7 days to exist. 6 was enough and God would provide. Now, as we have gone through this process the last few days, many are cooped up. Many, their lives have not changed. They've continued to go to work and did the things they have always done. And I think of many of our families that have kids at home and no school for a little while. I think of guys that I've talked to that have gone to work and it's almost like nothing has changed for them. I think of some of our retirees or some of our widows and widowers that are stuck, even those that are in nursing homes and in hospitals that can't have visitors. All of our lives in some way have been affected from this national emergency. And on top of that, worry and anxiety actually affects all of us in some way. Something Pastor James and I were talking about yesterday was just the reminder of the importance of redeeming the time. And since we have this extra time, this extra benefit that really is kind of a gift from God, we can kind of think about using our time wisely. I know that my family have spent a lot more time together the last few days. Different families have different benefits from this. And let me just remind you that this is a gift, and to allow this gift to be used for God's glory, to redeem the time. Some of you need to work on relationships that are important to you and spend time together with family or friends. Last night I just made sure that my daughter could actually FaceTime some of her school friends, and actually probably this morning they spent a half hour just talking, reconnecting outside of school, talking about school work and some of the things they needed. Sometimes we need to spend time working on our spiritual disciplines. Sometimes when we have extra time, we instantly would defer to reading the news or watching movies or eating or doing this project around the house. But maybe one of the things that should be important is practicing and working on some of these spiritual disciplines, like being in God's Word, praying, personally worshiping, spending time worshiping God, maybe even daily serving the body. Our church body in some way, sending a card. I know my family did that, sending cards out. I know today I've got to bring a package of Oreos to one of our retirees. I want to make sure he has Oreos because they ran out at the home that he's at. And so some of those fun things we can do to encourage and help those in our body. I would like to also encourage each of you to spend time continuing to grow and encourage and use what you're learning and growing to communicate to others This might mean some of you posting on Facebook or calling a friend or talking to somebody or sending them a card about what you're learning in God's Word, making that an important part of your life. I know several I've seen post verses on Facebook or verses to friends and communicating where our true hope really is. This could mean I've seen friends also do Facebook Live and worship and play a song and sing and have some fun that way. Send cards. These are great ways for us to minister, encourage, and to redeem the time. Remember, we are praying for you. We're spending time each day focusing on going through our attendance list and making sure we're praying for our friends, and we want to encourage you with regards to that. I do have a special guest. I'm trying to bring some of my friends involved today. And so I have Pastor James with us, and he wants to share about some of the things that are happening and how God is working.
Some of you as parents have emailed me and asked me what's the plan for our kids ministry and our youth ministry right now. I sent out an update to all of our parents of our teens yesterday, letting them know that we are not having youth group for a while, but we will be doing a live meeting online through Zoom, and so that link is provided there. Encourage you to help your kids make sure that they get on and can connect that way. Each of the youth workers should be contacting the teens in their small group in the course of the next week as well. Kids ministry, we don't have anything yet for you. We are working on it. I've been working. RBP is putting out some new curriculum or some additions to their strong curriculum, which will allow us to post some videos, we think, online and give you some resources as parents to encourage your kids as you continue to teach them God's Word as the primary disciple makers of your kids. And so we encourage you to take advantage of those as we are able to get those out to you. Some have asked about the different qualifications with missions trip and with camp scholarship. Those are just being put off and delayed until we can start to gather again. If you would like to keep your child current, you can still FaceTime with us. If they need to say verses and if you want to get ahead on that, that's fantastic. Teens, you are strongly encouraged to get your missions trip reading book done and your book report. This is a perfect time to work on that. It'll give you a little bit of extra time to work on your verses when we start gathering back together again.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And my last thing, I want to have a little fun. And so let me give you a little history lesson about Good News. Good News Baptist Church was started as a small group of fellowship of people off 84th Street in Eastern as Good News Baptist Chapel. That's actually our official name according to the government. And so the quiz today is, put in the comments below or send us an email. When was the last year that we used Good News Baptist Chapel? We transitioned to start using Good News Baptist Church over, of course, a period of time. But what year did we stop using the phrase Good News Baptist Chapel? And the first couple people that get it right, I will send you something and have some fun with that. Thanks so much. Praying for you. Bye.